Well, this is John Black, super chemist. I'm going to go into a quick myth, which is about, uh, you know, the man ordering food when they go out on a date, okay? The myth is this, okay? Now, if you're as old as me, you know, back in the 60s, because they had black and white, right? That was when it switched over from black and white to color, you could see the difference, okay? In the black and whites, the woman would go out and he would order, and he didn't have, it could be the first date, like they just met, you know, and he says, you want to go on a date? And they meet for a date, and he's ordering the meal for her, you know, and then you can see it switch over to, now the women are starting to complain in the background in the story, you know, in the movie. Why can't I can't order my own food? What is you know, why do I have to eat what he tells me to eat? And that became the scenario, and that's what we hear today. Well, why would a man do that? That sounds so, and it does. Sounds disrespectful. Why would you order for your woman, like, and not even consult her or ask? You know, maybe she, especially like a total stranger, maybe she don't like it. Maybe she's gonna die if she eats certain food. It doesn't make no sense. So if it doesn't make sense, maybe they're lying. Was never it. That was never the way it was. They just wanted you to think it was that way so that now you can have the women complain in the background and get rid of that, right? Okay? Because men and women are the same. This myth. We're all the same. We're not the same. An apple and an orange are not the same. They're not equal. They're different. Okay? So they can never ever be. Equal means same. Okay? Equivalent, you know, we can be equivalent on stuff. We can never be equal because we're not the same. Okay? It's that simple. Literally, the definition of equal is same, the same. It's like that, you know, that equal sign that we have when we have 2 plus 2 equals 4. That isn't actually an equal sign. That's an equivalence sign. So this thing that equal means, you can never be equal if you're not the same. If you're not exactly the same, then you're not equal. Okay, it's that simple. You can be equivalent, but you can never be equal. Never. An apple can never be equal to an orange, even though they're both fruit. They can never be equal. Okay, they can be equivalent. You know, maybe one is 5 cents and the other one is 5 cents, and now they're equivalent. But they're never the same. They're never equal. They're equivalent. Anyways, I'm getting off the subject, so let me get back to the ordering the food thing, okay? It was never like that. I always said it was horrible. And then I started doing, I have a mother that's 100 years old, right? Yeah, so she's, you know, ordering for her is like, oh my God, it's like pulling teeth. You know, you can go to McDonald's, even though you know, and she ordered the same thing at McDonald's, but yet you have to stand there for an hour and ask her what, you know, we stand in line for minutes, and then we get to the front, like she doesn't know, you still don't know, this is McDonald's. They have the same stuff they've had for since you've been alive, okay? And yet we have to have a big, long conversation with the cashier person, you know what I mean? So I obviously started to say, hey, look, you tell me what you want, and then when we get up there, I'll order the stuff for you, because you're getting on my nerves now. You're getting too senile. You can't hear anything. This is like, you're disrespecting this cashier, is what it is. You're disrespecting the cashier, right? So I start ordering for her, okay? Not always, I'm just saying, when I didn't want to deal with it, you know, but I always try to now ask her, what are you getting first before we go in? Even if I let her order, I make sure that she knows what she's getting before we get into the restaurant and orders the actual thing. And that's why the man ordered for the woman. The man didn't pick what, you know, he didn't just go on a first date with a woman and didn't know nothing about her and just started ordering stuff for her. No. On the date, the waitress comes over, or the waiter gives the menus and walks away, and then the man and the woman talk about what they're going to order. And then after those, you know, instead of spending 20 minutes wasting that waiter's time, right? The boyfriend gets the order from the girl and figures it all out and deals with it himself. Okay, instead of putting it on some worker that doesn't have time for this crap. All right, and then he orders for her. Okay, and this is because women, and not every woman is going to be like that where they take an hour to order. But we all know, come on, we all know that in general, most women take a year to order something or choose or make any kind of decision. Okay, and you're doing it for two reasons. Because see, it's about society. It's not just you, and it's not even just your family. It's about family, society, and community. Okay, if you're a Pastafarian. So you're doing it out of one, respect for the waiter, right? Because he is a worker, that means he's a backbone of the country, right? The workers are the backbone of the country. You should give them respect because they don't get no damn money. You should at least give them your undying respect. Like people, these men that do these hard jobs, you know, for infrastructure, you know what I mean? Yeah, you need to respect these people because they are the backbone, okay? They're the one doing everything for nothing, all right? So all they ask for, all society wants to have a good society, is those people that are underpaid and do jobs that, you know what I mean, that we respect them and their time, okay? So that's number one reason, because we care about society, right? And so we want to respect the backbone of our country, the backbone of our society that does our infrastructure, takes our garbage away, makes our buildings, paves our roads, takes our orders at restaurants, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so that's number one, okay? Which we don't have that respect anymore for that man anymore, that waiter. Number two is respect for the man, okay? These women think today that they just go out and they deserve free food and blah, 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 blah. That was a way to say, hey, thank you, okay? Women think that they shouldn't be grateful in any way, shape, or form, okay? And you know why? Because this is a perfect example why. Because we told them they don't have to be grateful, okay? How are you saying? When a man went out before, he would get all that whatever, and the woman would tell him what she wanted to order, you know, what she wanted to eat, and then that was her way of saying, I'm so grateful. Here, you order for me. I thank you for this free meal that I'm getting for you. You know, thank you for being a provider. You know, in reward for being a provider and for, you know, my thanks, my gratefulness to you, I'm going to let you order, okay? And then he would order. So that's how societies work. See, you respect people, okay, like the worker, and you are grateful when someone does something to you, for you, like the man buying you a dinner, okay? See, we lost that, okay, because of all these myths, because they want women and men to be the same so that they can have the workforce doubled, right? Which means your wages are going to go in half, and that's why households believe today that they need to, you know, both parents are working, because, well, if all the women stopped working, then there wouldn't be as much workers, right? And their pay would be doubled, you know what I mean, basically. And you wouldn't need two adults working in the family, would you? No, you wouldn't. But they want the workers because you're going to pay taxes and you're going to buy stuff. Women love to buy stuff. And if you let the man be in charge, they don't waste the money in general like the women. The women will, that's why right now, 80% of all consumer debt is done by women. 80%. They own nothing. They have no houses, most of them, no nothing, no businesses, but somehow they have 80% of all consumer debt. Okay, make that make sense. Oh, they're leaders. I got it right. But this is a myth about the, you know, ordering the meals. And what it is they wanted to change it around so that the guy was just being mean and just being domineering. I'll order what you want. I don't care what you want. You'll eat what I put. You know, whatever I order, you're gonna. No. That was never the way it was. It never was. It was in the black and white movies. You know, later on, right when they were switching over to color. Yeah, because they want society to. They wanted to get rid of the men and the women so that they're equal, so they can equally work. Yeah. Equally pay taxes, equally buy, consume products. That's why. But how does getting the man to stop ordering food, what does that accomplish? This is where it comes in, okay? The other reason that you do this, okay, is because the man is supposed to be the leader. But this, him ordering, right, this was the woman's way of saying, I value you as a leader, okay, and I'm going to let you lead in this one simple situation of just ordering my food, because it doesn't, you know what I mean? And what's funny is if a woman refuses to do this, she's saying, I refuse to let you lead, okay? Because if she can't even let you lead when it comes to ordering the food, what's she going to let you lead on? I mean, literally it has nothing to do with nothing. If she can't even follow you and let you be the leader at that, something that's so inconsequential, what do you think is going to happen in the future when you're with this woman? She's never, ever, ever going to let you lead, okay? Never, all right? And what's funny is her biomechanism is going to just gnaw at her, and it's a survival biomechanism. Gnawing. He's not a leader. He's not worthy. He's not a leader. He's not worthy. He's not a leader. He's not worthy. Yeah, and that's in their subconscious, and it's going to come out to her conscious, and then you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay for not being the leader, because she wants you to be the leader, and you're not doing it. You're not doing your job, okay? You're making her do your job. Am I saying in this modern day and age that you should go out and tell your woman, hey, on a first date, I'm going to order your food for you? No, I'm not saying that's not what I'm saying at all, okay? What I'm saying is maybe see if your woman is one of those people that can't order, and then after a few dates or whatever, tell the woman, hey, I want to order for you. You take too long, and I think, tell them how, it just respects the waiter, But the thing is if she's like, that's just too weird. I don't want to do that. That's weird. What I'd do at that point, I'd be like, aren't you looking for a leader? Don't you want a man who's a leader? And 99.99999% of the time, the woman will say, yes, I want a leader. Then you should say back to her, before you break up, you should say back, well, if you want a leader, and you want me to be a leader, and this is me leading, if you can't even let me lead in this one little tiny thing that doesn't affect your life in any way, shape, or form, then I have to believe that you're a liar. You do not want me to be a leader. You're not looking for a leader. And because of that, you gotta let me be the leader, or I gotta move on. You know what I'm saying? I don't want a woman who tells me they want a leader, and then when I try to lead, they tell me, no, that's wrong. I don't know. I don't want that. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, but yeah, I think after a certain amount of time, that yes, you should tell your woman that yes, you want to order for her, not because, even if she is normal, you know what I mean, and she just, the waiter comes over, yeah, I want this, no questions, no this, no that. She just does like a man and answers the question, okay? Even in that situation, because it's about the woman respecting your leadership. It's a symbol, okay? And the symbol is that, hey, I trust you, I trust you on big things, so obviously I'm gonna trust you on this little stupid thing that's a nothing. It's about respect, okay? And the woman either respects you and respects your leadership, or she doesn't, okay? And your leadership should be telling her that you're going to order, okay? And she can either follow and let you be the leader, or you got to move on. You know what I mean? And if you don't move on, you're a little bitch, okay? Stop being a little bitch. See, the thing about being a man is that you have responsibility of things, okay? And society is the way it is because of you, okay? Stop blaming, men led women into being jerks and entitled queens, right? And so all the women did was follow that lead. Okay? You men led them into this. So you can't blame the women for what the leader did, especially when the leader led them into feminism, led them into this, we're all equal, instead of being equivalent. We used to be equivalent. Now they say we're equal, but it's not. It's just female supremacy.